Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. The Lincoln Community Playhouse has been entertaining audiences since the 1940s and is now in season 72. The Playhouse has some great productions and a major fundraiser coming up in the next few weeks. So here with all the details is Executive Director Maury Enders. Maury, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Now you came in 2010 as Executive Director. Way back then, 8 years ago, what were some of your goals when you took over at the Playhouse?
Well, the biggest goal, I think, was to reestablish the Playhouse as a cornerstone of the cultural scene in Lincoln. To really make it had been kind of had an inward focus, and what we tried to do is give it an outward focus. So we really tried to up our game on outreach programming, which I think we've done, and we'll talk about that, and get more people in the doors and make it a lively place again.
Sounds great. And of course, money is always part of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about the fundraiser coming up, the Lincoln Wine and Food Experience, the 10th annual. Russ's Market presents this event, and it's raised a lot of money for the Playhouse.
Yes, over the years, it's raised over $300,000 for the Playhouse. So it's been very successful. Great partnership with Russ's Market. They are our season sponsor, and so we work with them throughout the year, not just at this fundraising event.
Now tell us what happens at this Wine and Food Experience. I have been to several of these, and they are, you don't want to eat beforehand, that's for sure.
Oh, it's a great thing. It's at the Embassy Suites, and there are vendors from around the country with all sorts of wine. And I like to say that this is a great event if you are really into wines, like you really know a lot about them. You can chat with these vendors. But it's also a great event if you know nothing about wines, which is kind of where I am. I'm like red, white, that's about what I know. But so you can go up to these vendors and they have various bottles and they have little certificates for each of the bottles, and you can say, hey, I like a dry wine, and they'll direct you to the right area and talk about the wines and how they're made, and you can learn a lot.
Yeah, and the food also is fabulous.
And the food is great too. There's a lot of food vendors there too, and you're right, don't eat ahead of time. And there's several tiers of how you can come to the wine and food event, and tickets are at Russ's or at the Playhouse.
Yeah, 90 booths, so lots of variety for everybody.
Yep,
so.
and a silent auction.
All right.
Can't do a fundraiser without a silent auction.
You got to have it. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on stage. The next production coming up is The Lion King Jr., and this is kind of an inspiring coming-of-age tale that's going to run in March.
Oh, absolutely. We're very excited by this. We're one of the first group of people that are doing The Lion King Jr. We have costumes coming from Texas. One of my friends had done it about 6 months ago, and beautiful costumes. It is a special in that it's a junior show, so it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Broadway musical. So like 70 minutes. And all of the actors are in 9th grade or in lower grades.
Wow.
Yeah, by contract with Disney, you know.
But
so
this can be kind of an intense experience, so no one under 4 is going to be attending this show,
Well, we think that when you hit about 4, then you can sit and you can experience the play, and so that's really what that guideline is for that.
Okay.
But it's a shortened version of the Lion King Broadway musical, Hakuna Matata, Circle of Life, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? All those songs are in it.
That sounds wonderful. Now, another big event that's coming up in late April, early May is a musical that's just been released for production, Mamma Mia.
Right. Also, we're on the first cusp of these people who get the chance to do Mamma Mia. So one of the Broadway's biggest hits, all the ABBA music that people love, and it's going to be a great musical. And one of the cool things that we're going to do is a couple of the performances that we're going to do are going to be sing-along performances.
Oh, fun.
So on those shows, we'll encourage the audience to sing with us.
That's excellent.
The other ones don't sing. Let the actors sing it.
You can sit there and mouth the words.
Yeah.
And Lincoln has so many great voices in the community, some really strong singers here.
Yes, tons of talent in Lincoln. It's a great acting pool.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about that community outreach that you're trying to do, and part of that is the Penguin Project. The Penguin Project is a very special project that we are only the second Playhouse, I believe, that has taken on this project. Tell us about the Penguin Project and the upcoming musical, The Music Man.
Sure. Well, the Penguin Project came out of Peoria, Illinois. It was invented by a guy named Dr. Andy Morgan, who is a pediatrician who specializes working with children with special needs, and he's a community theater guy. So now about 15 years ago, he combined those two loves to the Penguin Project. And basically what it is, we do a musical where all the roles are played by children with special needs who are partnered with peer mentors. And so as partners, they do the performance. So the artist is in front and does the role, and the mentor stays about 3 feet upstage and helps when needed. And it's a beautiful experience to be a part of, and I hope people come and see it. It'll be in June. It starts in February. It goes till June because it takes a long time to do it. One of the cool things is last year we did a promotional video, and we invited 4 teams, the artist mentor teams, to talk about the Penguin Project. The first question we asked them individually, separate from each other as groups, was describe the Penguin Project to someone who's never seen it. And they all described it, and not a single one of them mentioned it was a play. They talked about how fun it was, about getting friendships, about how about feeling more comfortable around people who are different than them, and that you can break down barriers with this show and really touch human-to-human hearts, and it's really a wonderful thing.
It's also a Mayor's Arts Awards winning
Absolutely.
program as
Yes.
well. So now one of the new things going on there is the Playhouse, the current building there at 56th and Normal, has been there since 1972. It's always needing some renovations. So there's some lighting upgrades going on.
There are some. Yes, there's some upgrades going into our lighting system. We're getting a couple new follow spots. We do plumbing upgrades. That's not really exciting, but we have to do some plumbing upgrades with some different toilet flushers. So it's all exciting business. This is stuff they don't teach you in directing class.
That's
May I
right.
just tell you that? There's no boiler 101 in theater, and you have to learn that on the job.
Well, I have been involved in some productions where we rehearsed during the winter. It gets a little chilly in there sometimes.
Yeah. Well, the boiler, one of our boilers had a little repair job last week, so
All right, keeping the building up.
That's
is a
right.
big part of what you do.
That's right.
I also want to talk a little bit about the senior theater productions that you do. Those have really been popular, and I've seen a couple of those as well.
Yes, I love this. This is a program that we do in conjunction with Ollie. You don't have to be an Ollie member to be part of it, but we work with them. And what we do is, like with The Lion King Jr., those 70-minute versions of Broadway shows, we do those junior shows with seniors. So in this case, we're going to be working on Singing in the Rain Senior. No real water, we don't want anybody to slip. But Singing in the Rain Senior, and the seniors come, and we rehearse twice a week, and we stage the show. It's costumes, and they don't have, but the big deal that is different is they don't have to memorize the material. So when they perform it, they'll perform it with scripts. Memorization is one of the real hurdles that seniors have when they're doing theater, and so we take that away. And so it's just a really great experience as well. One of the things that I have this print in my office, and it's Mary Engelbreit, and it says, everyone needs their own spot, and it's a boy hugging a dog, right? Everyone needs their own spot. And that's what we're trying to do at the Playhouse, especially with these outreach programs, is we're trying to let everybody come in and find their family, find their tribe, find their community. And that can be for children, but it can also be for seniors, because just because you had a spot doesn't mean you always have your spot. And a lot of seniors, you retire, your life is different, your spouse may die, that really changes your life. And so this offers an opportunity to gather together with some like-minded folks and have a good time and feel good about yourself.
And not all those opportunities are on stage. There's a lot of work that goes on behind stage, both for productions and for just running the Playhouse.
Oh, absolutely. We have all sorts of backstage opportunities for people. They can work as rehearsal assistants. They can work on the backstage running crews. They work with props. They work with costumes. There are people who are dressers. I mean, some of these shows have such quick costume changes that somebody actually stands backstage and preps the next costume and helps the actor get into the next costume. And there's makeup people that we have, people who work with hair. If anybody is interested in any of those opportunities, they can just give us a call at the Playhouse, and we interview you and kind of put you in the right path.
All right, there's some great people at the Playhouse, that's for sure. The website is lincolnplayhouse.com. And the phone number, if you want to find out more about any of the opportunities, including the Penguin Project and how to get involved in that, is 489-7529. Again, 402-489-7529. Now, Maury, I want to finish by talking a little bit about your mission, because some of the parts of your mission are really reflected in what we've just been talking about. Positively transform the lives of individuals, profoundly change our community. Do you think you're on your way to accomplishing both of those?
Well, we actually work on that every day. We work on those goals. We see people transforming their lives by being part of the theater when they're working in a play, and also backstage. I mean, as you said, you can't discount the experiences people have backstage where they find a spot that feels really comfortable for them. Not everybody needs to be in the spotlight. Some people like to be in the shadows, and that's where they feel best. But we do transform their lives, and I think as a playhouse, we're really trying to, with some of the shows that we do. We just did a recent one, a world premiere called TBD, To Be Determined. It had subject matters that we don't often see on our stages in Lincoln, and so what we're trying to do is change the community that way in a positive way. We're always trying to look for ways to do what somebody told me years ago, a phrase called softening the doors. And I really like that because, we think of doors, I think of doors as being, you open them to an opportunity, but a lot of people find doors that are shut and locked. And we're trying to open the doors and soften the doors of the Playhouse so that everyone in the Lincoln community feels like they can come and find a spot with us.
All right. Now, when do you announce season 73?
That'll be in a couple of months.
Couple of months.
Yep, it's gonna be
Any
good.
hints? Any sneak
Well,
previews?
no, I can't really give you hints of specific items because contracts have to be signed with the licensing houses. But we are part of the Lincoln Theater Alliance, and the Lincoln Theater Alliance has dedicated 2018 as celebrating women in theater.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of the shows that we're doing are going to be connected with that theme.
All right. There's a hint for us.
There's a hint.
Thank you so much, Maury. Again, the phone number, if you want to find out more about what's happening at the Playhouse, is 402-489-7529, and the website is lincolnplayhouse.com. And when we come back, Jeff Mull will join us from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But first, we're going to take a look at what's happening at the Lancaster Event Center. Stay with us. Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mull joins us now from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's a big time of year. March Madness will soon be here.
Where has this year gone? And I can't believe we're talking about late February, March. I mean, so much going on in the community, and this is really starting to ramp up the year.
Yes, it is. Well, we've got the girls' state basketball coming March 1st through the 3rd, and then the boys the following weekend. So, yeah, those are always so much fun.
Yeah.
Great time in Lincoln.
And obviously I have to thank our partners at the University of Nebraska, as well as Lincoln Public Schools and the beautiful Pinnacle Bank Arena for being an incredible host for state high school tournaments. And I'm always proud to say this is the place for state high school championships. No better place across the state of Nebraska than right here.
And we are a championship city.
We
That's
are.
just the way it is.
I know.
All right.
No discussion.
No discussion. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on at Haymarket Park. Things are going to start getting pretty active over there now that the weather's getting nice. We're going to talk about the softball home opener first.
Yeah, the softball home opener will be March 3rd versus Wichita State. The Shockers will be here to kick off the Nebraska home season for softball. A lot of great expectations with the softball team going into 2018.
And a lot of expectations for the baseball team as well. The baseball team's home opener is March 8th against Cal Poly.
It's an early start to the home season. They're going to spend a lot of time on the road playing in warmer climates south and west of here. But it's great to have Coach Erstad and his team. And actually, as we've taped this, tonight is actually the welcome to the Huskers when the fans get to go meet the team.
Oh,
So,
great.
Yeah, it's kind of an
Great.
exciting way to go into the season. And again, a lot of fun surrounding baseball at the University of Nebraska.
And good luck to all the softball and baseball players. We want to remind people the Lincoln Stars are still in action too. Got lots of hockey fans in Lincoln.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the screen, the Omaha Lancers will be at home versus the Stars February 16th and March 10th. A lot of great teams. The Blackhawks, the Fargo Force, the Fighting Saints, the Rough Riders, and the Buccaneers from Des Moines will fill the icebox. And yes, there's heat at the icebox. There was an issue to round out the year last year, so you do need heat in a venue that has ice. I know it
There
doesn't
you
sound
go.
right, but it's a great venue. And actually 2 weeks ago, they sold the venue out for the
Wow, that's
Lancers
great.
game, reminiscing back on days gone by of when Lincoln Stars hockey used to sell out each and every night.
That's right. Let's pack the icebox.
I like it.
All right. We're going to talk about a different kind of sporting event now. This one involves sort of a putt-putt style tournament that takes place in lots of different places.
Yeah, this is the Lincoln Barstool Open, a great opportunity to get a team of 4, enjoy obstacles, putt-putt golf, just a lot of fun. And a lot of people put these teams together and have been for several years. 12 to 4 on a Saturday. Great idea to get out and have some fun with your friends.
And this does support United Cerebral Palsy of Nebraska, and they are encouraging team captains to round up or to arrange for the Safe Ride Home, which is being provided by one of the law offices here in town.
Yeah, that's
So,
an important step.
an important step. If you like some more outdoor activities, we
Sure.
have one that is a little bit chilly. It's the annual Polar Plunge. Sometimes they have to break the ice to get to get anybody wet.
There's been years that they haven't had to break the ice at Holmes Lake because we'd have warm winters, but the ice is back out there. Enjoy the Polar Plunge, a very special event to benefit Special Olympics. Years ago I did this, and it's really not that bad. It's just more when you come out of the water, the air hits you,
Right.
and between that and the tent where you get out of the wet clothes into dry clothes, that's the worst part. But you're
Really.
raising money for an outstanding program.
And it's lots of fun costumes,
Yes.
and yeah, it's a great event. All right, we're going to talk about the Great Backyard Bird Count. This is a national event, and Pioneers Park Nature Center is having they're participating with a special event. This was started by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and the National Audubon Society. Get out there and count some birds.
Yeah, get out there and learn how to watch birds and identify birds. They'll have some great food there and get a chance to hike and see the prairie, weather permitting.
And lots of cool birds. Another kind of bird, the sandhill crane, is the topic of the pop-up story time.
Stories and activities are plans for ages 3 to 5. The Sandhill Cranes will begin their migration this year, an enormous tourism event for the state of Nebraska. So it's a
Yes,
perfect
it
opportunity
is.
to introduce the kiddos at Morrill Hall.
All right, another fun thing for the kids is the Investigate Second Saturday. This one has a great name, the one coming up March 10th. It's the Science of Ew.
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 On the second Saturday of every month, you'll get a chance to head down to the Science Lab. This month's topic is scientific illustration. Every 3 investigative events that you attend qualify to become a science investigator, plus you get a prize.
Got to have a prize.
Yes.
Looks good. There's a new event at the Nebraska History Museum that looks at people on the move. It is called Looking Past Skin, Our Common Thread. And they're going to look at not just Native Americans and Native cultures, but also recent refugees' families. This sounds like a really good family activity to kind of explore what we're all about.
Yeah, a lot of discussion with their traditions, their language, food, and the various religions as part of Nebraska's story. Head on down to the Nebraska History Museum.
It's a great spot. They have a lot of great things going on down there. Let's go to the Children's Museum now, and a chance for dads and granddads and uncles and brothers to take a little lady out for a date.
Little Ladies Date Night at the Lincoln Children's Museum. It makes me wish my girls were still young enough to take them. This was a lot of fun. You'll make memories that will last a lifetime. Bring a camera, enjoy engaging yourself at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
And the Superhero Day is coming up in March as well. Get out your cape, grab your favorite sidekick. If you could be a superhero, who would you be?
You ask this to me every year, and
Well,
I think I always say Aquaman, and some people go, well, why would you want to swim in the sea with the dolphins and the whales? I just thought Aquaman was cool.
I want to fly, so I'd probably be like Supergirl or Superman.
Really?
Or one
Just
of those.
fly, just get up and go.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Be pretty cool.
This should be a lot of fun.
They also have a special breakfast before that you can attend and meet the superheroes. So Lots of fun at the Children's Museum. We're going to move into theater now, and Tada is presenting Into the Woods. This is just a classic. It's celebrating its 30th anniversary. That's hard to believe.
It's considered one of the greatest musicals ever written. James Lapine and Stephen Sondheim take everyone's favorite storybook characters and bring them together for a timeless yet relevant theatrical production.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and Tada does a great job with that. And we're going to go to Nebraska Wesleyan. They've got a busy theater season underway. The Well takes a look at the sick, sometimes making the best healers.
Yes, Lisa, both a playwright and a character, steps on stage to conjure Anne, her sickly yet forceful mother, into an acclaimed drama and comedy. This sounds fun,
It
comedic,
does.
dramatic,
It does.
and we talk a lot about Nebraska Wesleyan. They do an amazing job over there, and a lot of great theater over there.
That's right. As does UNL, and the Repertory Theater is going to present Avenue Q, which is a puppet show that's not for kids.
Avenue Q is a laugh-out-loud musical that tells the timeless story of a bright-eyed college grad named Princeton who arrives in the city with big dreams and a tidy bank account. Seems to be the story of a lot of kids anyway, right?
I love Avenue Q, and it's always it's great to have the rep back in town as well.
It is.
All right. We're going to move into music now. We've got a big brass concert coming up, Brass-tastic, and this is a special 30th anniversary birthday concert.
That will feature an 11-piece large brass ensemble, St. Paul United Methodist Church.
All right. Nebraska Jazz Orchestra is presenting West Coast Giant featuring Ernie Watts, and Ernie is a two-time Grammy Award winner.
That's right, two-time Grammy Award winner, has been featured on over 500 recordings by artists ranging from Cannibal Adderley to Frank Zappa, unforgettable trademark sound. A lot of fun going on over at the Lincoln Marriott Cornhusker Hotel.
And we have jazz every Monday night at a new location
Yep.
at Blue Blood. And it's got a lot of great jazz coming up with the Monday Night Big Band, the Lincoln Jazz Ensemble's coming up, the Ed Love Quartet.
Ed Love.
So every Monday night, this is a new location for them this season at Blue Blood. So lots of fun.
Good location, great venue.
Take a trip through that
Take
cave.
that cave tour.
It's pretty cool. Arts for the Soul has a concert coming up with, it's a hymn festival that features, I guess, one of the main guys in hymn festivals,
Right.
John Ferguson.
John Ferguson is invited to design and lead such events in churches across the country and the world, as well as a regional and national convention experience. He's been across the world. We have him at First Presbyterian Church. Stop on out and enjoy the hymn festival.
Right, and Aubin Music is keeping especially busy. They have not one, not two, but three events we want to talk about. The first one is the Mozart Coronation Mass Youth Masterworks Festival Concert.
Blah.
Phew.
You nailed it. This will feature three of Nebraska's finest high school choirs and musicians from Lincoln's high school orchestras, each accompanied by a professional soloist and an instrumentalist.
Coming up then February 25th, Aubin Music is presenting Considering Matthew Shepard. This was the tragic case of the Matthew Shepard murder. It's been 20 years since that occurred. This is featuring some special guests, and this one's going to be at the Lead Center.
Yeah, the Washington Post it was praised by the Washington Post for demonstrating music's capacity to encompass, transform, and transcending tragedy. It has been quite a while,
Yes,
this is
yes, it
an
has.
interesting story. It includes adult content, so I just want to point that out.
All right. The third event we want to tell you about features one of America's most celebrated collegiate choirs from Minnesota, the Concordia Choir.
They are led by Grammy Award-winning conductor and composer Renee Clausen. Concordia Choir has sung around the globe, sharing music of both faith and hope.
All right. Madcap Puppets and the Lincoln Symphony Orchestra are joining forces for Carnival of the Animals.
That's right, they'll bring together the animal kingdom to life with the show puppetry, comical actors, and just a lot of great fun. A musical petting zoo. We've
Yes.
talked about musical petting
Yes,
zoos.
we did. If you go an hour before the concert, there's face painting, the musical petting zoo, crafts, and other family activities. So there'll be a fun time out at Nebraska Wesleyan.
It's a great way to introduce your child to musical instruments. Great chance to get a hands-on experience.
That's right. You never know. They just may see something that turns out to be their passion the rest of their life.
Right.
So, all right, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra is back at the Lead Center then for one of the stars of Glee. She sings, she tells jokes, she's Jane Lynch.
Lynch will join the LSO to perform hits from the Great American Songbook plus one Guatemalan love song. Jane Lynch television series Glee.
Three-time Emmy Award winner, a Golden Globe winner. So
Yeah.
that's quite a show. I'd like to go back and watch the whole Glee series again. There's been a couple of tragic deaths from the cast in the last year or so. But it's a great show.
Yes.
I do enjoy Glee. Let's take a look at what else is going on at the Lead Center, starting with the Berlin Philharmonic Piano Quartet.
That's right. The unites 3 permanent members of the Berlin Philharmonic with renowned concert pianist Marcus Groh to perform an incredible program of works by Schubert, Mozart, and Brahms.
All right. Coming up February 23rd, The Underground Secret is out. Snarky Puppy will take the stage.
It has exploded to be one of the most versatile groups on the planet, according to Rolling Stone magazine. Consecutive Grammy Award winners in 16 and 17 for Best Contemporary Instrumental Album. One of my favorite names, Snarky Puppy.
Snarky Puppy.
Take a look at the local music scene, by the way, and just take a look at the names that are out there.
I love it.
They're running out of opportunities for boring names, let's put it that way. A lot of intrigue.
All right. One of the world's great sketch and improv troupes is coming to the Lead again. March 3rd is the return of The Best of Second City.
That's right. If you've seen Second City in Chicago, this is their version coming to the Lead Center. Of course, Jim Belushi, Bill Murray, Steve Carell, Tina Fey, Stephen Colbert have all had opportunities to be on Second City. This is the up-and-coming comedians on tour at the Lead Center.
See them before they're famous.
That's right.
Or before they're really famous.
Really,
right?
they're kind of famous.
They're kind of famous now. All right. We're talking about a lot of anniversaries this show, and it is 50 years since Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. Of course, it was outside of a motel room, and the LA Theater Works is presenting The Mountaintop, which is an imagined story of what happens inside that hotel room.
Right. Nobody knows what happened inside the hotel room, but there's a pretty good idea here that they're going to put something together. 50th anniversary of this show, adult content and themes here as well, so an adult-only show.
All right. And Kinky Boots. I've got tickets for this. I can't wait to see Kinky Boots. This is the huge Broadway hit that features the Cyndi Lauper music and a very, very creative story.
Yes, it's a musical celebration about the friendships we discover and the belief that you can change the world when you change your mind. Glamorous catwalks of Milan. Kinky Boots.
Sounds like it's going to be a great run. At
So
the
did
Lead
you
Center.
know about this, or did you just buy it because it was called Kinky Boots?
No, I knew about
Really?
it. I watch the Tonys every year, and
Okay.
so I've seen some
All
of
right.
the pieces.
Well, look
so-
at us going Lincoln with these award-winning productions.
I know. It's great. Woo Man and I'm going to hope I pronounce this right. Hawaiian Shadow Puppet Band.
Yes, there you go. Yep.
Hawaiian, probably. Hawaiian.
This will be an evening of Chinese music brought to life with amazing shadow puppetry. Very well spoken, Diane.
Lutes, gongs, percussion, and fiddles. They sing and they play tunes depicting life in China.
Very cool.
Yes. And now for something completely different. We all know Ken Burns from his documentaries, but did you know he collects quilts?
No, he collects American quilts, is
He
what
does.
I'm imagining here. He'll be displayed with his works alongside eloquent and anecdotal thoughts about the quilts, collecting art and authenticity. Burns's quilts function as films do. They spark dialogue and remind us, he hopes, of our shared humanity.
And kudos to the International Quilt Study Center and Museum for bringing this show here. As I said, a lot of people are just, he's one of the best documentary filmmakers of all time, and to know that he also has this passion for quilts, it's pretty cool.
I think this is going to draw some new visitors to the Quilt Study Center. Those that have
Believe
driven
so.
by it so many times, I think this will get them in, and you're going to go back time and time again.
All right. Well, Jeff, that's it for us. I understand you've got some surprises coming up at the Visitor Center.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
We're excited about it.
Happy birthday to Abe Lincoln this month. It's
Yeah.
his, oh boy, I'm going to have to do math. It's Abe Lincoln's birthday again on February 12th. So
Well,
we're gonna-
and since you kind of teased people with this, we've got something pretty cool at the Visitor Center, right? We're going to break it right now. We've got a 5-foot tall Abraham Lincoln bobblehead at our Visitor Center at 7th and P.
Whoa.
Stop down, get your picture taken with Abe. Stay tuned for promotions over the next 30 to 45 days. Picture to win contests with Abe. We're going to give away some really cool Abraham Lincoln merchandise, and this is our take on Abraham Lincoln.
That's
A bobblehead.
great.
It's cool.
A 5-foot Abraham Lincoln bobblehead.
Functioning bobblehead.
I think Abe would really enjoy that.
I know he would. He's looking down right now saying, "Attaboy."
Way to go. What's a bobblehead?
Explain that to me.
The website to find out more about all the great events in Lincoln.
Lincoln.org is our website. Our Visitor Center at 7th and P, or give us a call at 434-5348. or 5335.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. And coming up, Tom Lorenz joins us from Pinnacle Bank Arena and Pinewood Bowl. But first, we're going to take a look at what else is going on at the Quilt Center, as well as some of our other great art museums here in Lincoln. Stay with us. We're back now with Tom Lorenz from Pinnacle Bank Arena and Pinewood Bowl, and kudos again to the arena, one of the nation's top arenas again for global ticket sales.
Yeah, Polestar ranks the arenas year after year, and we came out 45th in the U.S. this year and 85th in the world. So it's for a 157th market in the U.S. It's pretty amazing, and it's all due to a great city, great support from the fans, great support from everyone in southeast Nebraska, and it's just amazing. So we're really pleased to be one of the top arenas, and we hope to stay right up in that top level for the next several years.
And thank you very much to you and your great staff, because this wouldn't happen without you.
They're an amazing staff, and they work really hard every day, and I'm very proud of them. So they're great folks.
All right. Well, Jeff Mull and I talked a little bit about March Madness. We're kind of in February madness
We
in
are.
terms of the Nebraska basketball teams.
We're on pins and needles to kind of see how we finished up the season, and things are going great. The teams are both playing very, very well, and we'll see what happens as far as postseason tournaments, whether they're dancing in the NCAA or whether they're in NIT world. So it's still very exciting. If you haven't caught a game, you need to come down. The teams are playing just outstanding. They're great athletes and good kids all around on the men's and women's team. We're really happy for both coaches.
Although the women's Big Ten tourney is going to start February 28th in Indianapolis. The men's Big Ten tourney, February 28th at Madison Square Garden. Those are
right.
going to be really exciting.
It is, and the men are starting a little bit earlier at Madison Square Garden because of the timing and the other events they have there, but they'll have their tournaments done and they'll be ready to be seeded. So let's see where it goes on.
All right, tournament time,
You
March
bet.
Madness, here we go. Well, let's talk about what else is coming up at Pinnacle Bank Arena. In addition to the basketball, Avenged Sevenfold, February 8th, so that's coming up really fast.
Big show. We haven't done a great rock show like this before, and Avenged Sevenfold, Breaking Benjamin, and Bullet for My Valentine. They're coming in. We played Avenged Sevenfold quite a few years ago at Pershing. It's great to see these guys continue to get larger and come back. We had Bullet for My Valentine out at Pinewood Bowl, so it just keeps feeding and coming up. Great shows. This will be a big night. We'll be well over 9,000 people at the arena that night. So I hope there's still tickets left, and I hope people get a chance to come out.
All right. Now we're kind of taping this it's been a week or so since the Grammy Awards, and we saw a lot of familiar faces on
did.
stage that night.
That was great to be able to see a lot of the artists that have either played or will be playing. And Bruno won big that night. We had just
Right.
finished up his show in August, and so lots of great things to be connected with the Grammys.
And Pink.
And Pink.
March 6th.
She performed that night. What a wonderful performance! To get her back into Lincoln is just kind of a dream. It's have her come back. If you don't know a lot about her music is outstanding. But if you've ever seen her show, it is just something else. It's a whole nother level of excellence. It is a mix of music and showmanship and athleticism, and she does all those things. And it's great to have Pink coming.
Another big show in March is Lord with Run the Jewels.
That's right, and Lord is her new album broke out very strong, went right to the top of the Billboard chart. Lots of good things coming from that. The history of her albums before with the popularity it had, and now adding Run the Jewels, who played at the Maha Festival recently. It's a really, really strong package, and that'll be a nice way to kind of ease out of March.
And we're going to break up the concert schedule a little bit with some Monster Jam.
Monster Jam, my favorite every year. Nothing better than having 8 trucks and mounds of dirt and kids and everything else, watching them running around on the floor. It is something to see. If it's not just for kids and families, it's everyone comes to this. It's just a lot of fun to be able to be out there and watch the trucks do these things, and these drivers are amazing. They do more interesting tricks and stunts every year.
Now I have a question about the dirt. We've talked about how long it takes to get in and out, but where's the dirt come from?
They'll, we'll work with contractors, and they'll either have it stored year to year, and they'll keep it, just to bring inside because they clean it up every year, or if they're doing a new excavation, depending on what type of dirt it is, they'll be able to bring it in, and it has to pack to a certain amount. It has to be a certain wetness, so there's a little bit of science to the dirt too.
That's pretty interesting.
Yep.
All right, back to music. Brad Paisley is coming at the end of April.
Brad Paisley, just the ultimate, country star. He's been around, writes terrific music, writes things that really tug at your heart. So Brad will be bringing, a really nice entourage of musicians into Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's a nice show, and we're really happy to have Brad there.
All right, a couple of big shows in May, starting with Chris Young coming up on May 12th.
So Brad maybe is, so Brad Paisley's kind of on one end of the spectrum where he's a little bit older artist, and now Chris Young is the new guy coming up, and Chris is the, on the cutting edge of new country, and so he'll be coming in along with Kane Brown and others, and it will be, country as new and as fresh as you can get it. This guy is breaking big every place. They're just bringing him into arenas, and he is starting to break records already. So this is your chance to see him before the next time it will be a football stadium.
All right. Now, Cirque du Soleil fans will be treated to kind of a circus-themed performance coming up at the end of May.
It is, and if you've ever heard anything or seen a Cirque show before, the excellence, the production values. It's unbelievable. So for them to come back again and do this wonderful show, the arena's cut down a bit, so it's a little bit more intimate for people to come in. They'll be able to sit on both sides of the arena, the east and the west, and kind of watch through and see all the activity in front of them. Gorgeous show. Corteo is just going to be one of those things that people will talk about for years.
Well, the new announcements keep coming. We've got 3 announcements to do since we last had you on the show. The first one is Zac Brown Band is returning. Zac
Brown Band, one of the most favorite country acts out there. And not only is Zac just a great musician, a great writer, but he is a foodie too. And so there's that whole aspect of the Zac Brown Band and all the different things they do with recipes and music, and they roll it all together into a great night. It'll be fun to have them back. It's one of those shows that when we did it the first time around, everyone loved it, and so it's a great opportunity to see them again in June.
And then a couple of rock classics are coming in July, Journey and Def Leppard.
So if you went out in the rock world and you found 2 headliners and decided that they would play together, these were probably the 2 you would put together. So Journey, with their great history, and Def Leppard both, they're in prime form. We've had them both in the past, but to jam these 2 together is to take 2 headliners. They'll play equal sets, and they're very long, and it'll be a great night of rock music that lasts all night long. To see these 2 together, it's not going to happen often, may never happen again, but what a night. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Our third big announcement is Fall Out Boy coming October 5th. Tell us about this artist.
Well, if you had grown up, my daughter is in her 20s, and so as she was in junior high and high school, Fall Out Boy was one of her favorite bands. Guys emanated out of Chicago. They are terrific musicians. They write their own stuff, and Fall Out Boy was very popular. It's great. They've got some new music out now. It will be a night of, this will draw from new fans that are in their teens all the way to 30s and 40s. It'll be a very eclectic audience, and a very cool night to have Fall Out Boy here at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Well, let's go outside. We've got 2 shows so far announced for the Pinewood season. The first one, Impractical Jokers. You might have seen them on TV.
They are improv comedians, and they put their talents together. They've been doing this for several seasons. They've got a great show on cable TV, and they'll bring it to the stage. This thing, as when we booked it, we knew it would be popular. We didn't know it would be this popular. It has just exploded, and this will be a really, really fun show to start off the season. Right now, it's the first show that we'll have at Pinewood. We'll see if something else slips in front of it, but it's a nice way to start.
All right, the new show that's been announced is causing quite a buzz here in the studio, Primus and Mastodon. What is the description? Primus is
So-
like Chili Peppers meets
Metallica.
Metallica.
So if you
okay.
had sort of metallic funk or something along those lines, and I don't think you can really catalog them. They do all kinds of weird things and different things. Les Claypool, the vocalist, kind of the head of the band, very eclectic guy, a lot of talent there. And Mastodon just won a Grammy at the last Grammy Awards. It wasn't one of the ones they showed on TV, but it's one of those coolest ones for metal. So it'll be one of those really unique nights. And it's kind of what the bowl is. It's a little bit quirky, it's a little bit fun, and that's who you want to see out there.
All right, Tom, great lineup. What a great variety for the folks of Lincoln
Well,
and the whole region.
we'll have a lot of stuff coming for Pinewood. We've got quite a few things booked and ready to be announced. And as those announces come along, I look forward every month to come back and talk about them. So,
All right, and the websites are?
www.pinnaclebankarena.com and pinewoodtheater.com.
Pinewood Bowl Theater, right?
Theater.com,
Okay,
right.
we got
Excuse
it.
me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom.
All
You
right.
probably said it so many times that
It
it
just
kind of all
slips
runs
right through.
together.
Yep.
Thanks. Keep up the great work.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that is all for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all the guests that we had for today. If you missed an event, stay tuned. We'll be running a list again right after the show. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out and about.